So we're installing the DVD player in a 2009 Camry. The first thing you're going to do is find yourself a 14-inch socket. You're going to find yourself a 14-inch socket, ratchet or wrench, whatever you have. Take the 2 bolts out at the front of the seat, and also 2 at the rear of the seat. Move your seat fully forward to get to the 2 bolts in the rear of the seat.
Next, we're going to go into our power source.
Tip the seat to the back, and under the seat, you're on the power seat version anyway, you're going to find this connector. Okay, that has what we're looking for, so I'll show you that in just a moment. Okay, so to gain power for a DVD player, you're going to want to access the 12-volt DC and the ground wire in this connector. This particular model, the power is the green wire, so that's your 12-volt. White with black stripe is your ground. So we'll peel some of this insulation back and going to tap into these 2 wires. Okay, with the wires insulation stripped back, we can see the green power wire and the white with black stripe ground wire. We're going to use 2 T connectors and 2 short pieces of 14 gauge copper wire to tap into this power source. Okay, we're just going to crimp this connector, get our ground wire on. You've never used these before. Go on like so.
Once we've gotten that plugged in, we're going to go to the back of the seat.
That's going to give you access to 2 Phillips head screws that you need to take out in order to get enough room between the plastic rear panel and the seat frame to be able to fish the wire through. Okay, again, one of these on the left, one on the right. And if you can see that, you get maybe an inch and a half of movement where you can slide the fish tape through and be able to pull the power cable down from the top. Okay, we'll insert the fish tape through the hole that corresponds to the wiring harness on the headrest. The natural angle for this tube is actually canted toward the rear of the car, so on your fish tape, actually just put a little bit of pre-bend in that so it wants to navigate around that, and you'll hear it fall down. Now, this requires that you stick your hand up into the back of the seat under that plastic panel a bit, and so while I do that, we'll break away for a minute and come back once we have this fish tape all the way down. Okay, this is the wiring harness that comes with the unit. We're going to attach this to the fish tape with a piece of electrical tape, like so. I'll just wrap electrical tape around this joint, and then we'll pull it, pull the fish tape from the top, and pull this wire up with it. So, okay, so we have the wire fished to the top. So now we're going to turn our attention to making the 2 wire connections underneath the seat. Just tip the seat forward, and I'll show you how to connect those and tidy those up. Okay, so here we have our 2 wires that we brought from the front power source, and then our wiring harness. We have our 12 volt and our ground, and I'll attach those or couple them using just a couple of simple butt connectors. Okay, so we have our wires connected. Now we'll take a couple of cable ties and tie this wiring harness up to make sure it's nice and neat. It doesn't hang on anybody's feet or the power supply or power movement in the back. Okay, so a couple zip ties here to hold these cables, and now we'll reinstall the 2 screws up in here and reattach the clips for our carpet panel. Alright, in your kit you're going to have a bag of bushings for your particular size seat. So find the ones that actually install fairly easy in your headrest here, and push those in. Pay special attention on the one that has the cable running through it. Install it over the cable first before you insert it into the seat back, and then you'll note your lock here. You want to make sure this window is 180 degrees or directly opposing. Okay, we're going to plug our DVD unit into the cable and apply a bit of electrical tape on that connection just to make sure that it doesn't come apart. Okay, have the DVD unit installed. The only remaining thing is to put the 4 bolts back in to hold the seat down and test everything out. I'd have to say the hardest part on this project is actually getting the fish tape from the top down to the bottom. So the little secret we found on that was, once you have those 2 small screws out that hold the plastic panel on the back of the seat, stick your hand up in there and pry that plastic back away from the seat frame, and as the fish tape is inserted you can feel the fish tape come down and grab a hold of that, and that really is the hardest part of this project. So hope you'll find this helpful. This is of course for the power seat option, and that's where we picked our power up from. If you do not have power seats, another option would be your cigarette lighter 12 volt supply in your console. You just have to route your wires a little differently, obviously, coming to your seat, and leave yourself plenty of slack for forward and aft movement. So, good luck.